We are Broke Dude Podcast. I'm Jed.
Chris.
Jake. Blake. And this is episode 158, ladies and gentlemen.
158.
At it for a while now.
Yeah. I feel like we say that every time.
Got some video. Hi, video. Waving to you.
Deuces. Like, subscribe, comment.
Oh, yeah. Mine's right
I had to
there.
get out the way. So there's a lot of, in my opinion, a lot of federal government overreach going on
Oh, yeah.
recently.
Yeah, some scary shit.
Just recently, as of, what's today, the 24th? I believe yesterday, the 23rd. Excuse me. Trump sent federal agents to Kansas City, to Albuquerque, to Chicago, and I want to say one other city. Like, all week, that fool's been talking about how he's going to crack down on all these democratic cities that have lost control of their people and blah, blah, blah. It's like,
Yeah.
no, that's not what you're doing.
Yeah.
That is absolutely not what you're doing. If you were going to send government federal agents in anywhere, you would have sent them to Seattle, where they had essentially taken over a portion of the city.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not when a city was not even nearly as violent or as aggressive with their protests.
They were
as
just
that.
peacefully protesting.
Yes.
And he didn't like that.
Well, I mean, they should have stood for the flag.
Yeah.
But so in Portland, they've been protesting since June, whenever
It all
George Floyd
started.
died,
Yeah.
got murdered. Sorry, and there at the beginning, it was rough because I read some articles about there being actual looting and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the bright spot in that was one of the local landmark stores was untouched.
Yeah.
Like all those fucking name brand stores, your Apple store, your big ass corporate stores, they all got ransacked.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
Fuck them.
They
yeah,
skipped over the small business
yeah.
for the most part.
So I mean, that kind of flies in the face of, oh, they're destroying their own community. I mean, yes and no.
No, they're
Yes and no.
destroying the corporate takeover version of their community.
Exactly.
Mhm.
You know, it's. I'm sorry, you don't need 16 fucking Nike stores in any big city. You really don't.
I mean,
You
maybe
don't.
2.
Yeah, and that's
Even
fine.
then.
You don't need 30 goddamn Starbucks in Seattle. You
Well-
really don't.
I feel, isn't that where Starbucks started?
Yeah, but you still don't need fucking 30
I
of
mean,
them
they gotta
there.
represent, dog. They gotta
You can,
represent.
you can go 2 blocks and hit a fucking Starbucks. That's
Is
too many.
that's better than going 2 blocks in it and hit the church here in Salina.
I mean, they're all kind of confined. There's a couple outliers, but a lot of them are over downtown. A lot of them are down there. And there's one that's like thrown in the middle of 9th Street that just does not make sense. I don't think it's operational anymore.
The one over here.
Like right over there. Like
Oh,
4 blocks
no, that's
that
a
way.
daycare, or across from, like, over by Roosevelt Lincoln.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a daycare type thing.
Yeah, the one that's like tucked in like right in between 2 houses. Like it's
Oh,
on a
that
lot.
one.
Yeah, that looks like it should be a house.
No, I
but
think
it's a fucking church.
murders are committed there, but I'm not 100% sure.
Some kind of ritualistic shit.
Yes, this Church of Satan. So through all this protesting happening in Portland, the advancements that were made because of that, the state of Oregon put a restraining order on the police force there, using tear gas, impact bullets, impact ammunition,
Yeah.
and shit like that. So like they could not use that on the protesters unless there was people were in danger or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But the one weird thing I just learned while doing all this research and shit, it takes 5 people acting a fool to be classified as a riot in Oregon.
Really?
5 people.
That's like a pickup basketball game.
Yeah, right?
Like only 5 for it to be a riot?
Only 5.
Man, have you played pickup game?
Yes, and that's not a riot. That's what I'm
It
saying.
can turn into one.
It can turn into a fist fight. It can turn into a mosh pit. It's not a riot. I've been to hardcore shows that were closer to a riot than 5 fucking people.
Like, the fucked up thing is that same day, Trump ordered, God dang, that Chipotle's fucking got me burping. Signed an executive order for federal agents to protect all monuments and shit like that.
Yeah, and federal buildings.
Yeah, which, okay, I understand the federal buildings because you got employees there who aren't necessarily part of the problem
Yeah, they're
and
just
shouldn't be targeted.
Yeah.
I understand that.
you got paper pushers and shit. yeah.
Right. That's completely understandable. Protecting properties, whatever. But once the federal agent showed up in Portland, they don't have to abide by the state law or the state restraining order of not using the tear gas and the flashbangs and shit like that.
Yeah.
So what's the first thing they do? They start throwing fucking tear gas, throwing flashbangs. All this shit that's not de-escalating anything.
Yeah, it's just pushing people further towards violence.
It's proving the point of the protesters that the law enforcement in this country is not here to protect us. It's here to enforce a rule that we don't necessarily agree with anymore. It's
Well, and especially if it's non-violent protests, that's a constitutional right.
yeah,
And if you're coming in with tear gas and rubber bullets, you're violating someone's rights.
absolutely.
You know, it's gross. It's so fucking gross, and it honestly fucking cracks me up how many of these hardcore like right wing gun nut small government people are just saying nothing about this.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the fucking shit you were planning for, you goddamn doomsday prepper. You know, like this, it's happening. You can see it. Just because they disagree with you on the topic doesn't mean it's okay. Like
Well, it's happening, but it's not happening to me.
exactly.
So I mean,
I mean, you remember when people in Texas were freaking out about them running joint military operations and
Operation Jade Helm.
yeah, they were
Yeah.
freaking out about that.
Yeah.
You were freaking out because you were scared of shit like this. What's happening in Portland, and now all these other cities that they've been shipped off to. This is exactly what you were freaking out about. Exactly to the T. And nothing. Crickets.
Yeah. I remember hearing about Jade Helm. Like, oh, Obama's get ready to instate martial law and
Yeah.
how, Sway? Okay, guy.
Yeah.
Just, what the fuck ever. So they show up around July 1st. Around July 4th, the protesters start shooting fireworks because the city closed down all the playing shows or whatever. So it was kind of a celebration, I guess. Of
4th of
sorts.
July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some of them were shooting fireworks at the federal courthouse that they were all protesting in front of. And there's a picture in one of the articles I read. I got a lot of my information from was the Oregon Public Broadcasting, something like that.
Yeah.
It just like the local Oregon news, I think. And it showed the courthouse was boarded up with plywood, but they had cut little holes, little fucking window things in there. Show some respect.
We born you over there, Blake?
No. I'm looking this stuff up, and the ad came out.
So they had they cut little fucking holes in it, little peepholes, and there's a picture of dude just fucking spraying pepper spray
Yeah.
at a dude, and there's reports of them just peeping out, shooting fucking people with rubber bullets and shit like that. It's the documented shit like that that makes it seem like the cops are being aggressed on, when in reality they're being the agitators.
Yeah.
Because the mayor, the governor of Oregon have came out and said that since they've been there, things have started getting ramping up. Tensions have started to get higher
Yeah.
because you aren't from there. You don't know these people. Like I use the analogy that if your kid's acting up and someone calls the cops come over and start yelling at your kid, throwing him in a corner and shit like that, you're not going to like that because he doesn't know your kid.
Yeah.
Like, just back the fuck up and let me do my thing. He was calmed down
Yeah.
until your ass showed
Until
up.
you showed up. Started trying to swole cock him.
Yeah. It's
It's gross. It's fucking gross. And like I said, it's like if they're peacefully protesting, regardless of whether or not you disagree with it, is inconsequential. They are peacefully protesting. They're exercising a constitutional right. You cannot come in and suppress that just because you disagree with that. What they're protesting against.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say whatever they're protesting, that shouldn't be up for them to like or dislike. Like they're there to make sure shit doesn't get out of control.
Right.
Like why are they taking it? Why is it getting personal to them?
Yeah. No, it's because it's against police.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. They're taking it personal because it's against them. And instead of listening to the people, they're just escalating the problem and furthering these protests because that's exactly the kind of shit that people are protesting against.
And the Oregon legislature actually made it to where shit actually de-escalated. Because you got these protesters that aren't getting fucking shot with pepper balls and pepper spray and shit, so they're not feeling like they're in danger, like they're actually getting listened to.
Yeah.
And even the city council has made some concessions. They cut, like, I think, $15 million from the police fund, and they're going to allocate it to community projects and shit like that. They stopped the resource officer program. They stopped the gun violence prevention. There it is, gun violence reduction team. I forgot to look that up, but I'm sure this name's self-explanatory.
Yeah.
But like there was actual change coming from this
The state,
this
local,
protest
yeah,
in this Portland area, and I didn't realize this, but Portland's like one of the whitest cities in America.
yeah.
Like literally one of the whitest cities in America.
Hippieville.
Seattle too. Yeah,
See-
Seattle's really white too.
I was cruising Reddit just looking for seeing if anybody from Portland was actually commenting, and they said that Oregon was actually started as like a white supremacist haven.
Yeah, that's why. Like,
Jesus.
Yeah,
I mean, you remember when there was that whole thing in Oregon about like some crazy fucking
Talking about
right wing
the cattle
guys.
rancher?
Yeah, the cattle rancher
Yeah.
guy. Like, countryside Oregon is apparently really, really red. Like they're really, really, really red. So, yes, that makes sense. That totally makes sense. But it's weird to think because I think they, as a state, vote Democrat like every election.
yeah. I think both of their senators and representatives are Democrats.
Yeah.
You never really like this is the first time I can think of hearing news from the Northwest. Like you really don't hear, at least around here, you really don't hear any like
Yeah, like
big news or like anything that's popping off up
Yeah,
there.
like before all of this, the only thing I ever heard was it rains a lot up there.
yeah, yeah.
That's all I knew.
There's Kurt Cobain killing himself allegedly, and the rancher. That's really all.
well,
I knew.
and the fucking what's his nuts, not Jeffrey Dahmer,
Ted Bundy.
Bundy. He's from up there.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, he committed a lot of crimes in Colorado and Florida too. So he's just a traveling man.
Yeah, that's what we'll call him.
Good old fashioned traveling man.
So, on July 11th, this is like they've been there for 10 days now. The feds have been there for 10 days now. There was one night on the 11th where a guy was holding a boombox next to at
I
the
saw
park
that.
across from the courthouse.
Yeah.
Dude was holding a boombox in his head, above his head, playing music. I don't know what. Somebody threw a fucking tear gas canister in front of him. He bends down, throws it away, puts his shit back up. Boom! Gets cracked in the fucking skull with a bullet.
It wasn't a
Shit.
bullet. They shot a tear gas canister.
No,
at his head.
they shot a fucking when he stood up. They shot one of those like non-lethal rounds at him.
Because I saw the video for that. And I thought it said they shot a tear gas canister at his head, and that's what dropped him.
Maybe what I read was the canister landed in front of his feet. He kicked it, got up, and was shot.
Mm-hmm.
But like looking at the pictures, like the dude had like a fractured skull. Fucking
It
his
fucked
eyes
him
were,
up.
dude.
It was sickening. Because like the video, you see him.
Why?
He's got it's just a small boombox like that. And he's doing the fucking John Cusack thing, and the thing comes over and he kind of drops down and kicks it. And he stands back up and almost immediately he's hit and he just crumples.
Yeah.
And people start fucking screaming. They pick him up and they carry him out of there. It was gnarly. It was really fucking bad. And to see shit like that and constantly like, I remember when the protests first started, seeing the videos of cops like driving through crowds on the side of the highway and just spraying the fucking giant tear gas shit in their face. It's like, why? They're just sitting there holding signs. Why are you doing that?
Walking past kids and just dousing them in the face.
Because
like
they
it's
can.
nothing.
No one's gonna fucking do anything. Like
Yeah.
they have no accountability to anybody.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I mean, I guarantee you that this fucking dude. Like, thankfully he's doing better. Like he ended up being in critical condition at the hospital, which isn't surprising. You take a fucking headshot like that.
Yeah.
Like it's,
Yeah, and they're supposed to not aim for anything but center mast. with
and
those
there's no
things.
way you can accidentally aim, like hit the
Yeah.
head
No.
if you're aiming center mass.
And that dude's supposed to come out of it and just like appreciate that there's still police.
Yeah, hey, thanks,
Yeah.
man. You're protecting me. Haha.
I texted Jig earlier today. I was like, what if protesters had access to riot gear? It would be a completely different story.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, let's level that playing field a little bit.
Just for their own protection, they're not going to use it. But
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, if
Here.
they're going to.
Tip for the protesters out there listening to us: if
Yeah.
you're gonna start breaking into shit, look for that army surplus store first.
Yes. I'm surprised nobody has done that. Like, I'm just gonna empty the bank and just fucking go buy everything I can and hand shit out to people.
You know, I mean,
True.
they kind of started doing that in Hong Kong because they had to. I mean, they didn't have a choice. You know, like you see those dudes coming in with full gas masks, and they got like fucking suppression teams when they shoot in tear gas. They run in like a fucking pit crew and throw a cone over it and douse that shit with water and then stuff. You know, like to put out the tear gas real quick.
Like a NASCAR pit crew.
Yeah, it's so funny watching them come in because it looks just like that. Like everybody knows exactly what they're gonna do, and so they run in and knock it out in 2 seconds, and then they move on. You know, so I think we're going to eventually get to that point where people are going to have to do the same thing, especially with them sending feds to all these major cities again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I know people.
Hey Bezos, open up your army surplus in Amazon.
Yeah.
Let people buy shit.
Send it to the people. You almost have $1 trillion, you fucking asshole. Just give us some money.
I think that's the last thing we need is a militarized public. Because you got a militarized public against a militarized police force.
They won't
Like-
know who's who. Fuck them.
Get the same gear.
Yeah.
Just fucking friendly
Oh, look, I'm a
fire all
cop.
over the place.
Fucking Joker the shit out of this thing.
Maybe they can turn friendly fire off. So after this happened, a couple days after this happened, Trump had a meeting at his golf course at Durrell,
course.
obviously, because there's no other place for him to have meetings except for his
his
own
properties. Yeah.
He never once acknowledged what happened to that man.
No. He's never going to take any
Never.
responsibility for anything that goes wrong. Never.
In
That-
fact, he said, "We've been doing a great job in Portland."
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a cocksucker. That's all you can say. The man is a fucking cocksucker. I have general, deep-rooted hate for him for the rest of my life because of everything he's done in these last 3.5 years.
Same.
It's never gonna go away. Like I really hope Biden gets in office and his first act as president is to arrest Trump. Like it's disgusting what he's done. It's this is the last straw. All the corruption shit, it's whatever. You know, that's playing with other people's money. It sucks. It's annoying. It's frustrating, but it doesn't affect me in a way that this affects me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like this is crossing 3 fucking lines at the same time, and it's infuriating that nobody is seeing it as a problem just because they disagree with what the protesters are protesting against.
Yep.
You know, they don't see it as this is a violation of your constitutional rights. They lock up all these protesters, everybody that's on that side of the Black Lives Matter movement. Who are they coming after next? They're coming after you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know?
I guarantee you, if a Democratic president gets in there and wants to come take your guns, I'm going to stand up for you just like I'm standing up for
Yes,
them.
exactly.
Yep.
It's not it.
It's a constitutional right.
Absolutely.
You start letting this shit letting them get away with this shit. They're going to start taking more and more and more until we have nothing left. Period. You think a mask is a problem? Go fuck yourself. This is the problem.
Yeah. Like, just the thought of people thinking a public health tactic is government overreach.
Yeah, and
But
not saying shit about this.
Fucking federal invasion
Of U.S.
of a U.S.
cities.
city
Yeah.
is okay.
Yeah.
I just don't.
It's because they can't compartmentalize with it. They can with a mask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so it makes you
'cause it's personal.
react different.
It doesn't directly affect them. Like
Exactly.
people in Texas don't give a shit about people in Portland.
No,
but
So they
because
just
they have to wear a mask.
exactly.
Yeah,
Government can't tell me what to do with my body.
it's a
you just
sign
can't
of
get an abortion.
right. It's a sign of intelligence to be able to understand the plight of people that are thousands of miles away from you. It's really all it is. Like, I had somebody on Snapchat the other day that actually bragged about going through Walmart and Target without a mask on. I was like, at this point, you're just an asshole. You're not brave. You're not a rebel. You're just an asshole.
Hey, nobody cares.
You know?
So brave, man.
Yeah. It's
How do you get the courage?
to just say fuck everybody else? I don't care. You can't take away my freedoms to not get people sick. Like, it's so frustrating, you know.
Oh, but
We should all stand for the
They
Pledge
get
of Allegiance because of that guy.
they get
it was a girl.
COVID. They're going to be the first ones saying, "Oh, this shit's serious,
Dude.
Wear masks."
Literally
Seeing-
everybody who's been in that position has done the exact same
Exactly.
thing.
Seeing the tweets, dude,
Mm-hmm.
are fucking priceless.
Oh yeah,
Like, oh man, this shit sucks. Should have wore a fucking mask, idiot.
yeah. Remember 2 weeks ago when you were saying it was a hoax? This is what we were talking about.
Fucking Danny shared an Onion article saying hospitals nationwide are filled to capacity with coronavirus hoaxes. Or something to that effect. I fucking lost it.
That's pretty good.
Oh, shit.
Gotta love the Onion.
So throughout this whole thing, police have been putting tweeting pictures of things protesters have been throwing at them. Half-eaten apples, water bottles, shit like that. The thing that they've been there we go. The thing that they've been saying has been happening but haven't proven was people throwing water bottle full of piss, people throwing shit at them. All this stuff they say is happening, but yet they aren't showing any pictures of it.
Yeah.
That would be
You
very.
can't play the victim when you're fucking agitating these people.
No.
It's like if
And I'm sorry, but if you're getting shit thrown at you, at least you're not getting hit with tear gas and rubber bullets in the face.
yeah, exactly. Like it's a
Yeah, you can wipe shit off. You
Yeah.
can't wipe a
Just
fucking.
take
just
an extra long
fracture
shower.
my skull. Let me just walk this off.
Yeah. That shit and piss cleans right off. It doesn't matter.
It's like it's the same concept, like the battered woman concept. Like if a husband is constantly beating his wife and she kills him, you can't blame her for it.
Yeah.
She was in danger almost every day of her life.
Yeah.
That's the same concept that people are trying to get across with police brutality. Like, yes, you can support the police, but you need to acknowledge that they fuck up.
Yeah. A lot.
Yeah, this is not just like a oops.
Yeah. This is a constant oops every fucking
Right,
day. You
right.
know?
Oops, we killed 1,000 citizens today. Our bad.
Like, why would you?
That was a big on our part.
well,
And because
we'll work
they're,
on that.
I can't remember who it was. Was it you or Jed was saying something about last time they don't really record the numbers.
They don't record, like they don't officially record the number of people killed by police,
Yeah.
but they officially record the number of policemen killed on duty.
Yes.
I mean, the FBI is doing that. So
They're tracking only the data that makes them look okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Rather
That's
than
exactly
all the
what I
data.
was. That wasn't going to be my point.
but there are groups out there that track this stuff, and it's outrageous. Like
Track it as best as they can. Too,
Right.
You know, because not everything gets reported, so the numbers are,
Yeah.
you know, some
Skewed.
plus or
Iffy.
minus
Yeah.
shit on it. So
well, hell, I mean, even if you had an average, that would be better than not doing it at all.
right, there should be something.
Yeah.
You know, like it's inexcusable that they don't keep track of that. You know, that they don't keep track of how many times an officer fires his
that's
service
right.
weapon.
They've been
mean-
around that long, how long, and they're not taking data into account, like at all,
Yeah.
or any metrics.
Bro,
for
they can
people.
figure out how many times Barry Bonds batted left-handed with the wind at 62 miles per hour.
Yeah.
And how many home runs he hit. And you can't tell me, you can't figure out how many people they fucking killed.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
fuck
that
outta
stuff's
here.
needed. Because, like, if it's blowing 17 miles an hour out of the southwest,
Yeah.
you don't want to leave it high.
Yeah, his average will go up if it's blowing out of the northeast.
You gotta walk that man.
It's just they don't want to do it.
Yeah, they don't. They don't want to be held accountable for their
Right.
fuck ups, which is the grossest job negligence I've ever seen. Like, imagine going to your job and you fuck up 100 times a day, and you're just like, "Nah, don't worry about it."
That wasn't my fault.
Yeah,
Dude,
your
ever
job's gonna be
since-
like, "No, get the fuck out of here."
Now look at it. You don't worry
Ever
about
since
that.
my job, we started doing fucking, like, they started counting, like, how many times we rework shit or scrap shit. Like, all of a sudden, people are like, whoa, wait a minute. Hey, we need to have a sit down talk with this guy.
Yeah.
Why does he keep fucking up? Or girl.
Person,
Person.
be gender neutral.
Yeah.
Why does human make
no-
mistake?
Yes. So numbers do matter.
And they typically don't lie.
They don't.
I mean, from what I've heard from a lot of rap songs.
That's how numbers work. They're like Abe Lincoln. They can't tell a lie.
so in one of
I don't think that was Abe
the
Lincoln.
in my opinion, one of the most badass moments to come out of this protest is
The chick showing the cops her pussy.
this chick stripping
Yoga.
completely naked,
Yeah.
walking up to these cops, pointing a finger at her. They start shooting pepper balls at her feet. She doesn't fucking move.
Yep.
Does
Damn.
not fucking move. The
The-
balls on that woman.
The
Yeah.
pictures of that were fucking badass, man. I saw one where she got down on her knees and was just spread eagle with her arms open, like, fuck you. Like, come at me,
Yeah,
bro.
I guess apparently in there you can do yoga naked. Like, it's legal. They can't arrest you for that.
Yeah, Portland and Seattle are very hipster cities. A lot of white people in Portland and Seattle, as we said before.
And I read that a lot of the cops in Portland are from surrounding areas,
Yeah.
which are less liberal than Portland itself. So I mean, it would make more sense that they're more aggressive, less willing to be accountable for their shit. But the steps the Portland City Council's taking is pretty cool. I mean, it's refreshing to see. Oh God damn! Excuse me. To see protests actually working,
Yeah.
even in the face of the president calling them fucking anarchists and terrorists and
I'm surprised he
criminals
even
and
knows
shit.
how to say that word.
Well, he probably practices it every night in the mirror.
Do you think that was part of his cognitive test?
Dude,
You were
I
going to
looked
use
at
this
that test.
word a lot.
Jalen could pass that fucking test.
Right. Like, he keeps bragging about it, and I saw it, and I'm like, didn't I take this test in, like, kindergarten?
Yo.
There's literally one of the questions are identify these animals. It's like giraffe, elephant, dog. Like, okay. You're
Draw
gonna
a
brag
clock.
about passing that?
Draw a clock at 10 minutes past 11.
Yeah.
Good job, Mr. President.
Yeah.
That's a high fucking bar.
You could read a clock that was around for 90% of your life
Like, it's just
before we went digital.
watching the interview he did with Chris
Chris
Wallace.
Yeah.
He was like, "You had to count backwards but from 100 by 7. Nobody could do that." Chris was like, 97 or 93. Like,
I really wonder if he, as much as he golfs, if he's still like shooting in the hundreds. He's just one of them fucking idiots that does something every day but is still terrible at it.
Yeah.
Or he probably thinks
just
the
fudges
higher
his
the
score.
number in golf,
Yeah.
the better.
He doesn't understand how it works.
He's been in business for how long and he's shit at it?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Exactly.
So, okay, so are they, who's going to get access to his taxes? Because I've seen something in the news where,
New York
like,
State.
yeah.
so are they going to be able to release that shit, or is it going to
Potentially,
be...
but from what I'm seeing is they're probably not going to come out until after the election. He's going to drag it out through court litigation bullshit.
That's fine. I just
Yeah.
want to see how
How much money he's
fucking
not
crooked
making.
yeah.
Watch him be like 100,000 there.
Yeah. Dude, so his niece, Mary Trump, came out with a book.
Yeah.
I was reading some excerpts of it, and, like, she does not hold back, dude.
I heard
Yeah.
she went the fuck in on it.
Dude, like I tweeted, it's like ether in literary form.
Yeah.
Like,
Damn.
no Vaseline, dude.
Damn.
Like, she does not hold back at all. Like, she calls him a scared little boy, and he's a fucking 70 or whatever year old man.
Yeah. Her uncle.
Like, there's a fucking quote in there of oh shit, I forgot we're in video, of him telling her, it's like, holy shit, Mary, you got a nice rack.
Jesus.
Like, this dude.
God, he's so.
And the
fucking
worst part is
squeezy.
it's not surprising.
No, not at all. Like I could totally see it.
I would have slept his ass if I heard him say that.
Slept with him?
No, knocked him the fuck out.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, "What'd you say, Don?"
Yeah. Donald. We gotta have. Do we have a problem, Donald?
Do we have a problem? Like, just hearing the story, reading the stories about how after Mary's father, Donald's brother, passed away, how they just completely act like he didn't fucking exist was heartbreaking, dude.
Well, and I've seen some shit too about when their dad was like getting sick and starting to, you know, like I think he had dementia or something. And he was kind of on his last leg. How Trump basically fucking tried to rob him for everything that he had and get him to sign over everything that he owned to Donald so that he could basically take all of his shit without anybody else getting a piece of the pie. Like it's just they're skis bags.
From
They're
what Mary
fucking
said,
skis.
that's Fred's fault.
Yeah.
Fred raised him like that.
Yeah.
Like that's how he describes fucking. That's how she describes Fred Trump raising Donald Trump to be a fucking complete fucking asshole.
Did you guys,
Narcissist, racist bastard.
Did you guys hear about the fucking FedEx guy that tried to kill the fucking
That yeah,
No, he killed
her son and shot her
right,
husband.
but she was downstairs like chilling.
It wasn't
and-
a FedEx guy. It was a lawyer dressed up as a FedEx guy.
That's what I meant. Like
Yeah.
a guy, imposter dressed up as a FedEx guy going, and then all of a sudden he's dead, and like because he killed or he had like a gunshot wound or something like that.
Yeah, it was COVID.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, a severe case of COVID to the head.
I'm like, yo, this is some setup shit.
self-inflicted.
Like,
It blows up.
like-
it was self-inflicted COVID to the head.
yeah, like they were like, hey, bruh, she knows way too much. We need you to go in there, offer. He fucked up, didn't complete the job.
What came out yesterday or today was they actually are linked him to another murder in California.
So he's a hitman.
And
He's
that
a
dude,
hired
that
hitman.
dude had a 17,000-page manifesto against feminists.
Yeah, he
He was a fucking sociopath.
Yeah.
17,000
Pages.
That's even better
Yeah.
reason to pick this
Oh my
guy.
God.
The government's smart. I'm just saying.
He's the fucking Manchurian candidate.
Yeah,
except
I'm just
they
saying.
didn't want to
man.
make him president.
It's just too fucking weird. It's too weird.
Yeah, apparently that judge was like part of his divorce proceedings too, so he had connections with her.
Mhm.
Like that's one of those things where I don't see the conspiracy there. There's too many things that he had.
But why
He had a
now?
reason.
you have to
Why
ignore
now?
He just
all
snaps.
of a sudden.
He just snaps.
Nah.
Like why do people just all of a sudden commit suicide? It's not because they got COVID, probably.
Blake's not on board.
I ain't believing that one.
Hey, all right, conspiracy brother.
I need to show you last weekend's John Oliver episode.
I'm not saying I don't believe what happened. I'm just
you want there to be something deeper to it.
I mean, it feels
Spice
like
it up a
though.
little bit.
Yeah, like it just feels so written, like a movie. Like it's just, what's her nuts? She gets arrested. Boom. She's about to tell on everybody. Boom. This fucking lawyer is trying to get offed because what was it? A he or she?
he tried to kill the female judge.
The judge,
Yeah.
fucking, it's just. I've seen movies like this before, and I want it to be a movie. Like it's a good story.
It's a good story, but it's also real life.
I know.
And it's a good story in and of itself without all the crazy shit around
Who's
it.
the puppet master, Blake?
Yeah, I don't know, man, but like you guys are gonna think I'm fucking batshit. You're fucking be like, yo, Blake was right a year from now when that shit it comes out.
Jeffrey Epstein was alive the whole time.
Yes, he was the one that set it all up.
It was me the whole time, Austin. It was me.
So there's pictures floating around of Jeffrey Epstein on his island. And that's
Like today.
Yeah, like recent
He's
pictures.
not dead. Like,
Yeah, you're right. He's not. There's no way he hung himself or anything like that.
No, he didn't hang himself, but he
Well,
was hung. He got the COVID.
Let's not act like if he was hung, he wouldn't be fucking little girls.
But
one of them said it was like an egg-shaped penis.
yeah, I watched that documentary and the
Yeah.
fucking lawyer grilling him about his weird shaped dick in the beginning. I fucking lost it.
It's like
He spends like
fucking
5 minutes.
fat, and then it just fucking like
Gets
a
all
cone
super
head.
skinny, yeah. And you could see Jeffrey just getting pissed in this fucking because they're recording the shit, and he's just like, he looks over at his lawyer, and his lawyer's like, "Come on, man," you know.
So
When
what
you-
came first, Jeffrey? The chicken or your dick?
When you were watching that, could you tell that he was friends with Trump by how he talked and like the words that he was using in the deposition?
I mean, I wouldn't say that. You could tell he was like a rich socialite because they all sound like that when they're getting interviewed.
It just reminded me a
You
lot
got
of
money, you
Trump.
talk that way.
Yeah, I
you know,
guess.
like that's how it is. Is if you get money and you get caught up in some shit, you talk like that. So it's any rich white guy that is in any kind of lawsuit or you see their court proceedings, they all talk like that. Like you don't see the Tiger King talking like that. Joe Exotic didn't talk like that. He's like, yeah, I said that. Fuck that bitch. You know, like he didn't give a shit. That's what poor people talk like when they're getting fucking questioned by.
And to think that's like what 3 hours away from us.
Right? And she owns it now too. Apparently she got it.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Apparently she got it. Like a couple weeks ago, not too long ago.
I'm sure he's like, I'm gonna get that bitch.
Yo, I'm gonna fuck all these guards. They don't know they're gay, but they're gay.
You just give them a little bit of meth.
Do you watch the big penises or the little penises? Then you're not that straight.
All right. So
So,
Transition time or
one more thing.
Okay.
So it's along the line of the Epstein shit. So I did not think Fox News could get any more batshit crazy. I saw a clip where they were talking about COVID-19 and a vaccine being moved along by Bill Gates.
Yeah.
This dude is like, Bill Gates was seen hanging around with Jeffrey Epstein. I'm not trying to take no vaccine from no child molester. This child molester over here, fucking pedophile making vaccines, I'm not taking them. And I'm just like, you are calling a man a pedophile, like one of the most philanthropic men in the entire world.
Yeah.
A
He was
pedophile.
basically gonna donate 90% of his wealth when he passes away to charity.
with no proof of other than has pictures with
Wait
this
till
dude.
that guy hears about his president having pictures. A lot of pictures with that dude.
Yeah, those are fake.
Fake news.
See, if you just fold the picture, he's not in it.
He's not there.
It's just his wife. His wife was all there by himself.
Yeah, do you see that where they cropped out Trump but left
They think they're
Melania?
fucking slick,
Yeah.
dude. They think they're fucking
so
slick.
fucking gross. Everything about them is gross.
But just the fact that the anchor didn't push back at all. Like, how are you gonna let him just sit there? I guess he's fucking himself.
No.
But I mean,
Well,
you're running
it's-
the show. You got to stop that.
It's
shit,
Fox
dude.
News. They don't care about being right. Their tagline is fair and balanced and always right. It doesn't mean their news is. I say that with the big old quotes on the news there.
Yeah.
So anyway, hard transition. We ready for it?
Yeah. I didn't write anything down, but I did listen to.
The right one this time?
Well, yeah. I mean, there wasn't much difference.
Yeah.
Like there was maybe 4 or 5 new or extra tracks on the 2017 one.
Yeah.
But
By the way, we're reviewing Binary Star's Masters of the Universe this week. And I'm going to tell you straight from the get-go, this is my third favorite album of all time. I fucking love this album.
Damn.
It is fantastic to me. I've listened to it a million times. It's right behind the Refused Shape of Punk to Come and Wu-Tang's 36 Chambers.
shaped of punk to come.
Shape of Punk to Come.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
it's a play on
Punk
an old
to come. I get
punk.
it.
Yeah.
Not punk come.
Punk cum. No, Shape of Punk cum.
It's just a question mark.
Yeah.
It doesn't want to be there, but it's there.
Yep. It's a play on an old jazz album by, I want to say Coltrane. I'm not 100% sure that's right, though. I've put out a million of those albums, and I still can't tell you if that's the right name or not. But I think it was John Coltrane. Anyway, Binary Stars, Masters of the Universe. What are we going to start off with? You want to start off with beats?
Yeah,
Sure.
I can do that. Like my like this started out solid for beats with me. Like that first opening with the
Yeah, Reality Check.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That first,
I love that beat.
That was a perfect thing to kind of get me introduced to it. It was a great beat. I didn't get a chance to look at the names. I was just listening to the shit. But I don't think there was maybe one beat I didn't like.
Yeah. They're all pretty basic, but they're not, none of them are bad, I would say.
Yeah, they're not overly produced.
Yeah, they're pretty simple. They're simple beats. That's one thing I really enjoyed about this album is like they're a good head bobbing beats without being boring. You know, like they're super simple. They're super easy. I thoroughly enjoy every beat on this album. The one maybe outlier is Wolfman Jack, but it fits the theme of the song.
Yeah. See, I think the one I didn't like was Binary Shuffle.
Binary Shuffle. Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Let me listen to it real quick.
I like my favorite one was One Man Army. I can't pull it out of my mind right now, but I wrote that one down.
Yeah.
It was my favorite, and Reality Check was up there too.
Yeah. See, I got Fellowship and KGB. I love the KGB's beat because it uses the like in the beat, which is also KGB and One Man Army are my two favorite songs on this album. But I mean, like I said, Reality Check is great. The more I listened to it, the more I enjoyed Indy 500 as well. I also have New Hip Hop and Honest Expression on here too. Like, there's just a lot of good fucking songs on this album. Like I said, it's my third favorite album of all time.
Okay, so I'm gonna change my favorite beat up, and it's definitely gonna be Slang Blade.
Yeah.
Like that little bass they got back there with the.
Yeah.
Like that's.
Yeah.
Listen to it right now.
They're
I'm
all
sorry.
good fucking head bobbing beats, man. Blake's
Beats.
got some hot takes on this. I know he does. You hated it, didn't you? Let's hear it.
The beats that I thought were fire was Reality Check, Conquistador, Slang Blade, and Binary Shuffle.
You like Binary Shuffle?
Yeah.
I guess I didn't hate it. It had a funk flavor to it.
Yeah.
Which was kind of like I felt like a lot of their
I
lot
will
of their
say
beats
this,
had funk.
Binary
influences.
Shuffle is the one track that doesn't really feel like it fits on this album.
Right.
They are
Like
kind of G-funkish
Yeah.
type beats.
That one felt kind of out of place. Like the song fits, and I think it fits overall, but the beat is just compared to everything else. It's the one thing that kind of feels off. You know.
Okay, beats that I thought were trash. Because I have it written down like fire beats, trash beats, and then Reggie beats.
Reggie.
Yeah. All right. Trash beats were Masters of the Universe, Evolution of Man, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings.
Which one?
Part
Both
one.
of them.
You didn't like either of them?
Oh, the first one. The second one was okay.
Yeah.
Honest Expression, Wolfman Jack, and One Man Army.
Didn't like One Man Army?
And then Reggie Beats was Solar Powered, Fellowship, New Hip Hop, Indy 500, Glenn Close, and the KGB.
Oh, I love the KGB beat. I can't believe you
Like-
put it as Reggie.
It's like, I like it. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't like
Fire.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it was like, oh shit, you know. It's like, okay, like I'll listen to it, but I'm not gonna skip it.
Yeah.
So
Like, I don't think Wolfman Jack's trash. It's just really simple.
It fits the theme of the song.
Right.
You know, like that's what I said. Like, I don't dislike any beat on this album. But if I had to pick one, that would be the one, just because it's so simple. But it fits exactly what they're going with for that song. So I can't hate it.
I had two that were more distracting than not liking them. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings Part 1. There were some bells in there that kept bringing my attention away from the lyrics and flow. And then Glenn Close, halfway through, my
When the
note
beat
says
switch.
it switches up and it's real diminished, but it fits like the tone of the track.
Yeah.
It's just like I think the levels were a little high and took away from the lyrics again.
Threw you off. Yeah.
Yep. Like, and it was a binary, like, on off. As soon as that started happening, I'm like, no, there went the song.
Yeah.
Just noticeable shit.
I see. I enjoy that one because it's the tone shift and the lyrics fit the tone shift and the beat. You know?
It does.
So that one doesn't bother me at all.
So we're still on beats, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
I guess the only other thing I would say as far as beats go is I wrote foundations of beat sound the same with different sounds inserted to make it sound different.
Yeah.
So
Like they had the same bass line.
same bass line, same cadence, except instead of a high piano here, it's a sample from a jazz band from the 50s or something, you know.
Yeah.
Arrangements,
Right.
similar, different sample.
That's all I had for the beats.
See, I like Glenn Close. It's a good mix of classical and like
He
my
was just
ideal
saying when it
fucking
switches
beats.
at the end of it.
'Cause
After
Gets very, like, diminished chords when the song gets kind of darker.
Yeah. Like after
yeah,
the chick
they
gets
get
hit.
kind of high there.
Yeah. After the chick gets hit by
Yeah.
the car. Yeah.
That does seem kind of out of place.
But
Okay.
it fits the tone of the song though.
Yep.
Because like his ex-girl hits his new girlfriend with a car.
like his mental state's all fucked.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it works with what they're going for. Again, the storytelling works really well. Like that's why I don't hate the beat for Wolfman Jack, because that song is like a horror story song, you know.
Yeah.
And so the beat, as simple as it is, fits the context of the song, so it doesn't bother me that much.
Yeah. Overall, like I said earlier, the funk is what stuck out to me. Like it seemed very funkadelish.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed very old school-ish.
Yeah.
I put feels very mid 90s. I got a Tribe Called Quest, Queen Latifah type vibe.
Yep.
Maybe some early Eminem, like underground early Eminem type stuff.
Yeah, I mean this album is heavily revered in underground circles.
Kind of like Rakim type.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
you can definitely tell their influences in it. you
Yes,
know?
for sure.
And that's why I've tried so hard to push this album to you guys, and I'm glad I finally had this outlet to give it to you, because I fucking love this album, and underground hip hop heads love this album. So I want to see your guys's.
I actually
From the
hold on.
overground.
I'll wait. To
Yeah,
say
we'll
that.
get there. We'll
I'll
get
wait
there.
to say that.
But I wanted to see your guys' view from the overground perspective. You know. So lyrics. Do we want to jump to lyrics?
Yeah, I don't want to say I hated the lyrics, but I felt like they leaned too heavily on similes. Like there was a lot of blah 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 like blah blah blah,
Yeah.
blah 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 like blah blah blah, and I don't necessarily hate it. It's just
You like
it felt like it was overused
you like more clever wordplay.
for the most part. Like
Yeah.
like when they like in Glenn Close or Wolfman Jack, those are probably my favorite songs because they're telling a story. They're not just using similes for similes' sake.
Yeah.
You know, it's
That was one of two of my gripes with the album is some of the lyrics and delivery was like they were just rhyming to rhyme instead of
Saying something.
Yeah. But then they also threw story tracks in too, so then that kind of changed my view. But
Right.
I thought the whole album was just going to be that. I'm like, fuck, he's just throwing in this word because it rhymes with that word, and it works syllabically.
Yeah.
But-
I think that's a word.
like they said, we
Yeah.
get locked like dominoes or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, what does that even mean?
That's a
When you play dominoes,
yeah. You can lock it.
You
Is
lock
that
it
what that's
down.
called?
Yeah.
You lock them? Okay.
Yeah.
That's
You
what
just
I
don't
thought.
know slang.
No, I mean, that's what I thought. I was like, what?
Yeah.
One of the I liked.
I love their lyrics, man.
But there were some bars in there. Like,
Yeah.
I thought one that was like, huh, was I'm hip to your vibe like a Motorola. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Yeah.
not a lot of people will catch that.
Yep.
It's like, oh, okay. And then there was another.
It fits the 2000s.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there was another one where I think it was in Conquistador. Oh, shit. I'll just bring it up. Go ahead.
Like
All right.
the one where he goes like something about it was a Rodney King reference. I thought it was
Yeah,
pretty slick.
I have
like
that
that
one in here.
whole
Yeah.
4-bar set or whatever.
I got it. So better believe this. Most rappers can't achieve this. I'm bad at the bone, but X-rays can't even see this. I'm strategic. I let your money talk bullshit walk while I keep it rolling like paraplegics. Whoever's on the microphone, let it be known you're in danger. I got next like the Boston Strangler. You ain't never heard an MC speak like this, and Rodney King ain't never felt a beat like this. Yeah, I fucking, and that's the first track of the album
Yeah.
too. That bar is in. All mine are from One Below. Sanam Silla, who's the other full-fledged member of Binary Star, had a couple, but literally everything I remember from this album is from One Below / One Man Army. It's the same guy. There's a couple of tracks where he goes by One Man Army and a couple that he goes by
He
One
was
Below.
my favorite rapper on the whole album.
Was he the first one who rapped on the opening?
I don't remember
I think
the
so.
order.
I think Sinem Silla was usually last on the tracks.
The last one, the last one kind of sounded like I can't even think. He kind of had like he was high, just kind of laid back, just kind of vibing with it.
Yeah.
Where the other guy was more forceful with his cadence, I guess. Like, I don't know which one was which, but I could tell the difference.
Yeah.
On Conquistador, he said, "No need to practice this because every rhyme on my papyrus, which it's a completely different way of saying the word to make it rhyme."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh shit, that was dope as fuck." It's naturally disastrous. I rock many fans, many hands clap to this. Like that was okay, that was sick.
Yeah.
That was sick.
Yeah, it was One Below. That was first on Reality Check.
Okay. Yeah, he's definitely my.
If you like One Below, I highly recommend Sonogram. It's an solo album he put out.
Ooh.
He's got like 3 or 4 LPs or EPs that he put out, but Sonogram is his LP. And his EPs are kind of but Sonogram is fucking great.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's really, really fucking good. I love Sonogram. I've actually listened to that about 4 times in the last week too. So
I have a few. I don't know what they're off of. I just jotted them down as I saw them. Chameleons Can't Adapt to This. Snatch Up Pebble, Grasshopper. We Done Mastered This.
Yep, I like that one.
My Haikus Increasingly Broaden Your IQs.
yep.
And a couple more. Did I fail to mention we wig splitting, so all you hip-hop heads probably need stitching.
Yep.
Walkmans or boombox from the suburbs to boondocks, from skyscrapers to green acres, hear my tunes knock.
Mm.
I just like that. Mm-hmm. And that's all I got. There was plenty more, but those were the ones that stuck out.
Yeah. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Jed's got the whole album, so
I don't have the whole album.
we got copyrights, Jed.
I do have One Below / One Man Army's entire verse from KGB. Let's see if you guys can pick up which one I'm talking about just from the first line. A whack MC is something I could never be. Do you know which one I'm talking about? That's the first line of his verse.
Is KGB the one where they're talking about selling
It's
out?
the one where there's like 6 guys on the track.
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
isn't it like 6 minutes long or something like that?
It's probably the longest song on the album. But
I didn't listen to that one enough.
His verse is, a whack MC is something I could never be. That's like growing dreadlocks while you
Yep,
taking
okay, I know
chemotherapy.
exactly who you're
Theoretically, pen and paper is the recipe. Alphabetically, I'm coming after you like the letter V.
Oh, yeah.
If you ever step to me, the worst is yet to come. You'll never get the best of me. Call it like a referee. Call it destiny. Check the melody. Break the law of gravity and lyrically catch a felony. I make it harder for the next MC. That's my specialty. Rappers better be trying to rap ahead of me. I'm a hard act to follow. I can prove it medically. I'm sick in the head. I could move a crowd with mental telepathy. Expect nothing less of me. Top pedigree. Rap assassin. Blasting with sellable weaponry. Shoot the sheriff and the deputy. Don't be testing me. Whoever think they fat can get the Dick Gregory. It's one of my
And he's
favorite
first
verses
on the
of
track?
all time. What?
And he was first
No,
on the
he's
track?
like he's verse 7.
Okay, I was going to say,
Yeah.
you don't put that first.
Yeah, no, he's. I think he's the second or third to last verse on that one.
Okay.
Like he's not the last verse, but that verse is one of my favorite verses of all time.
Like-
I fucking love it. It's got so many clever one-liners in that verse too.
Yeah, that shit I dig. That shit in the album I dug, but it's just the constant likes and the similes. I was like,
See,
okay, I don't mind them sprinkled in. It just it felt like they were overused.
I got some that don't even have likes and similes because like here's another one from Honest Expression. It's like I ain't hardcore. I don't pack a 9mm. Most of y'all gangster rappers ain't hardcore neither. Whoever get mad that I'm talking about you, claim you fear no man but never walk without crew. Where I'm from, your reputation don't mean jack. So what you pack gats and you sell fiends crack, you ain't big time. A man, you ain't no different from the next cat in my neighborhood who did time. Rhyme after rhyme, it's the same topic. Whatever makes you think you're hardcore because you was raised in the projects. Broke ass finally got 100 in your pocket. Now you on the mic spitting money's no object.
Yeah.
Like there's not a single simile in there.
Right.
Money's no object.
It almost feels like the first half of the album is just them like warming up, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Like they just decided to write and we're writing
fucking
all these
around.
metaphors and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then the second half, they actually had a clear vision on where to go.
Yeah.
Or what they were going to rap about.
I will tell you, Binary Star put out one album, one EP. They're one LP, one EP. They're the same fucking album. The Masters of the Universe just has a couple more tracks that Waterworld doesn't have, and those are the only albums they put out as a group. And then there's obviously the 2017 remaster, re-release, or whatever that has a couple extra bonus shit on it too.
Yeah, I think they could have probably alternated, braggadocious lyric story, like alternate them throughout the album instead of braggadocious first 10 fucking tracks, then stories and
Yeah.
the last 10. It was hard to get to the storytelling, kind of.
See, I think that's why I like the album so much because it's like it's clever ways of them bragging themselves up. Like I thought every single bar was that they talk about. Get really braggadocious. It wasn't just I'm awesome because I got bitches, money, and cars.
Right.
It's like I'm awesome and I'm gonna fucking freak your brain by telling you how I'm awesome.
And just to play devil's advocate, it's kind of like, all right, we know you can rap. You've said it 5 songs in a row.
Yeah.
Tell me a story or something.
Yeah.
That was kind of like throwing me off a little bit. Like, all right, what do we got? Okay, yeah, you can rap still.
Yeah.
It's a small complaint, really.
Yeah, well, and that's where I feel like we differ because like that never bothered me. It really never. It was one of those things because it didn't get repetitive because they found new ways to do it. You know what I mean? Or new ways to say it, I should say. So it's like I understand why it could be a turnoff to somebody, but it's like the opposite effect to me.
Different
if you're spinning
perspectives.
5 songs saying the same shit, but you're doing it in a different way, all 5 songs, I don't care.
Yeah.
let's
Still
see.
hard.
Yeah, I got 2 more. Again, they're all one below.
Yeah.
We back on the scene like herpes, stronger than Hercules, able to rock crowds from nurseries to universities. My beats and rhymes perfectly configurate like figure eights. You would think the mic was figure skates. My soul on ice, Tanya Hardin couldn't touch it. Pop it in your bins or your bucket. Walkmans or boombox from the suburbs to boondocks, from skyscrapers to green acres. Hear my tunes knock. You name it, we done it. Strike the mic and keep it rolling like we bowling 300. Yeah. And then, damn it, phone. One more. Yo, you whack bastards. You want to know how I killed your fathers? On the battlefield, I grabbed the steel like William Wallace. A brave heart, swinging my sword's a work of art. Every verse I spark deserved the purple heart. You can't get with the cold temperature. One below attorney whack artist. Purple like the Arctic Circle. Frostbit from the words I spit. You ain't got enough raps in your first aid kit to treat yourself. Too late, you chose your fate. You beat yourself, coming like you masturbate. And I won't hesitate to embarrass you, because on the microphone you do little like Eddie Murphy's character.
See, I like those bars.
Yeah.
But it felt like every punchline was a simile.
Yeah.
And like after, so I listened to it like back to back at work, so that way I could kind of remember it and know catch the things I didn't catch the first time.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that really stuck out to me that annoyed me a little bit was that. But once I got past that first half of the album, or whatever, like I said, like I was like, I think Glenn Close was the first one after that, or the first one that really got me in there.
Yeah.
Because then there was that, and then Wolfman Jack. I was like, okay, okay, guy, let's chill.
Yeah, and they do have, like, that one especially has a lot of the similes in it, but it's I think that again goes back to you can tell their influences on that, because that's fucking early days of hip hop. That's all it was, you know.
And I kept in mind that it's 2000s.
Yeah,
like it's not 2020.
Yeah,
like where hip hop has evolved into being more
clever wordplay,
right?
And
more using more metaphors and similes and stuff like that. But I mean, that's why it felt like old school hip hop to me. Mm-hmm. Like with the similes and then the funky beats, it seemed just overall like they were just old heads.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Again, if you like this album, I highly recommend Sonogram. If you didn't like this album, I still recommend Sonogram because One Below is fucking fantastic.
Yeah, he was the best on the album.
Super,
for sure.
super good. And again, he goes by One Man Army on this and some songs, but that's just he changed his name because there was apparently a hardcore punk band in Detroit, and they're from Michigan that was going by One Man Army as well. So instead of a fucking legal fight, he just changed his name to One Below. So
might be the bigger man.
Yeah.
The one thing that it's really nitpicky is the interlude where they're talking about Adam being perfect and shit like that.
Oh, before Evolution of Man?
Yeah, Adam is perfect, but he was flawed or some shit like that. I was like, what? What?
The whatever sample they used.
Yeah. It's just, it was part of the interlude. I don't really hold that against them, but it was just one of those things that I was like,
so
what?
Still got worst tracks and best tracks.
Oh wait, hold on, I'm not.
Oh, he's not done shitting on it.
As far as lyrics go, I wrote there's way too many lines that were fire. Like I liked.
Yeah, couldn't count
them. And I also said that the wordplay was elite. That's all I said.
Wow. So you liked it? I'm still ready to hear your hot take that you had from this morning.
Hey, Jet's got a stiffy going on, about to kill it.
No, I'm actually surprised. I'm surprised. I came in fully expecting Blake to hate it, so because this is definitely not Blake's wheelhouse of music. So I'm curious to hear what his hot take was that he was so excited this morning. He decided to text us that he had a take. But then I'm gonna wait. Okay, so best tracks, worst tracks?
Blake, you want to start?
My favorite track was Conquistador. Worst track was probably the Birds in the Cage.
I know why the Cage Bird sings.
Yeah. That was probably the part one. Part two was better. The prison one.
See, I think part one is One Below and part two is Sinem Silla.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty sure that one of them sings one and the other one sings the other. I don't think they go back and forth.
And they're just talking about their time actually being in jail.
Yeah. Actually,
jail and prison. Right.
I would say it's like 1A Conquistador, 1B Reality Check. Like those two were probably my favorite.
So the first two right off the bat?
Yeah.
I
do have to say too, the way they flow in and out on Masters of the Universe, the track.
That's what I have
like
too.
That. I love that the way they keep.
They're recording at the same time, just in different mics.
Yeah,
it's fucking dope.
Was that where they're like not really? They're just like doing it sporadically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one kind of annoyed me.
Really? See, I love
like
that.
It would to me it threw shit off.
Yeah.
But it would translate to stage like really fucking good.
Right.
Mm-hmm. See, and to me, like how it threw you off, it flowed so well for me. Like so, it's a completely different point of view on my side for that.
The one that I'm thinking of specifically is one of them starts spelling TRU and they all both start spelling trouble.
Yeah.
I'm like
TROU spells trouble. Yeah.
Like, it's just it doesn't work for me. It's like with Run the Jewels, how they would both do bars or do a bar, do a bar, do a bar, do a bar.
Yeah.
Like,
see, I love that. It feels like a tennis match.
Yeah,
you know?
and that's I can tolerate that more than what they did. It seems it seemed like they were trying to do ad libs, but the volumes were the same level. If that makes sense.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Is that Masters of the Universe?
Yeah.
Like I love that because it feels like tennis.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's going back and forth. I don't mind when Run the Jewels does it either, but
Right.
it felt more smooth when they were just popping in and out on the same verse. Like I thoroughly enjoyed that. Like it flowed really well.
There was one other track where it was a little more clunky.
Yeah.
Than Masters of the
Maybe
Universe,
that's
where
what
they
I'm
kind of
thinking
did it
about
too. But I thought this one was really good.
I'd have to listen because it's one of those tracks. It just didn't seem like they were. To me, it didn't flow.
It didn't work right.
It wasn't in rhythm and shit like that.
Yeah.
It might not have been Masters of the Universe. That's the last song, isn't it? Towards the end of the album. I got it right here.
KGB is the last song.
Yeah.
Well, no, it doesn't matter. Just whatever song that was where they were doing that. That's probably my least favorite song. Obviously, I can't think of the name of it,
Yeah.
but it's just that specifically is what kind of threw me off. Not necessarily what they were saying in it, but just the production how they were. I understand they were trying to play off each other, but it just, I don't know. I would have X'd it
Yeah.
if I was producing.
My favorite track was the Why the Caged Bird Sings Part 2, because it was one below, I believe. I put best track on the album in my opinion. Honest Expression was just all around dope. The other Caged Bird Sings, the beat sucked, but the song was dope. And then Masters of the Universe, how they went back and forth, I like that.
Yeah.
I think it even said like on Genius or whatever in the side that they were both literally in separate booths recording the track together.
Nice.
To feed each other's like energy.
It felt like that kind of.
Yeah.
It's the one I'm thinking of. The
And
better version of the one I didn't like.
Yeah.
Putting it that
Worst
way.
tracks, I didn't like Binary Shuffle. I didn't think it like fit their. I didn't think it fit the album very well. I think that's like a better like single.
Yeah, it's the one outlier in the album.
Yeah.
Like that's the one I can look at and go, this one I can see not being here.
And
Yeah.
then Fellowship.
It's the West Side Gun feature of the album.
Yeah.
Had to.
Fellowship, I didn't like at all.
Oh, I
I
love
thought it was
Fellowship.
bad because, I mean, One Below and Sinem Silla's verses were excellent as usual, but the other three guys on the track, I thought they were trash.
Yeah.
I felt like I could out-rap all three of them
Yeah.
if I had the opportunity. I wasn't a fan of their flows, and yeah. There's like one of them specifically, I can't remember who it was, but it was like he was trying to keep up with the beat the whole time and
Yeah.
squeeze words in to stay on time. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
My least favorite one is whatever one I was thinking of earlier with the choppy interruptions, I'm going to call them.
Yeah, I can't
But
think of it.
If I can, the first song that really got me was obviously the first song on the album, like just the beat, just their flows and shit like that really.
It was
got
a
me.
good intro to the album.
It's
Yeah.
a really good intro for sure.
Yeah.
reality check.
And then I didn't mind Conquistador. When they started getting into more of their narrative based rapping was when I started actually like perking my ears up, like listening to how they told the story and how they were able to just form it in a narrative sense. And I want to say no, because Glenn Close was after the Jailbirds.
Yeah. Glenn Close was after Honest Expression, but before Wolfman Jack.
Yeah, those two songs back to back was really fucking.
And they're the third and fourth last songs on the album.
Makes sense too, because you're a writer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just then there was the one where they were. Is it KGB where they were talking about how the industry's fucked? Like they try to fuck you.
I think that's Indy 500.
Yeah.
Yep.
Indy Five. I didn't understand the chorus, but like you're rapping. Why are you trying to win the Indy 500?
Yeah.
The independent
500.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ish.
That's
Okay.
why it's the Indy
Yeah.
500.
I get it now.
Because
I
you don't
get it
need a
now.
major label.
Hey,
like shake my head.
hey, like I'm a big Bubba.
Just clip that 5 seconds and throw that shit on YouTube.
Hey, I'll just say, like, I just didn't click at the time, but
all right.
now it makes sense. But yeah, those Indy 500 fucking those last 3 songs, dude. I fucking
Indy 500 is like
I
in the
enjoyed
middle of
shit
the
out
album.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's definitely where I started actually paying attention instead of working. Because like the first half of the album to me is it's like something you throw on when you're just sitting around bullshitting.
Yeah.
Like you don't necessarily have to listen to what they're saying, but you can.
You missed so many good bars from that first half of the album, though.
I didn't necessarily miss them. It's just I didn't. The later part of the album outshined them to me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put
It's
it like
definitely
that.
a build-up.
Yeah.
I will say that. It's a build-up. Except for that first track. I think the first track is probably the one I've listened to most on the album. It's the one that every time it pops up on my random, like my daily mix shit on Spotify, I'm always like, oh, fuck, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, so it's the one I've listened to the most. It's not my favorite on the album, but it's the one I've listened to the most. Other than that, like you said, I think it's a slow build from Conquistadors up until you get into Glenn Close and Wolfman Jack, or around that area, depending on what you like. I think that chunk of the album in the beginning is really good, but it's not the same as the second half, the back half of the album.
Mm-hmm.
And that really does show the difference in our. It's
Taste.
honestly a perfect album to demonstrate the difference in our taste in music.
Yeah.
It's not that we don't like it; it's just we don't gravitate towards it.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
if I had a choice, I'd listen to the back half of the album more than the first half.
Mhm.
But it also just depends on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like if I'm just walking around work and not shit to do, so I listen to a podcast, throw on like a concept album or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
listen to how they built it. If we're down here playing stumps or whatever, throw on the first part of the album, just sit there fucking, oh, you hear that bar? Ha 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 ha.
Mhm. It's
shit
clever.
like that.
Like back on the scene like herpes, stronger than Hercules. That fucking bar kills me every time I hear it. It's just this. It's a simple, clever fucking bar. And it. I think that one's in new hip hop, which is before you get to Glenn Close. Like I think that's around track 5 or 6 on the album. So. I don't know. My favorite song is KGB, One Man Army, Honest Expression, Reality Check are all fucking great. I don't have a least favorite song on this album. I enjoy all of them for what they are. The one I probably listen to the least is, as much as I hate to say it, Wolfman Jack, but I appreciate it for what it is. Like it's a great storytelling track. It's not my style, and that's why I listen to it the least.
Mm-hmm.
The more I listened to it for this review, the more I appreciated it than before this review. I will say that. I still thoroughly enjoy it though, and honestly, I count the intro for KGB into KGB, the track itself, because that fucking intro, I love it. And then how it starts off, like it cuts off the intro right as the track starts with "haha, you lose," and then
the
song
Russian
goes
roulette
in.
one,
Yeah, the
yeah.
Russian roulette. Yeah. So I fucking love that shit. I
Like hearing how the homeless man like chopped his friends' heads off.
no,
And
it wasn't the homeless man that did it. It was a real werewolf. Like that was the moral of
The homeless
Wolfman
man
Jack.
wasn't the werewolf.
No, he
Oh,
was the
let's
one
do it
that
again.
saw Wolfman Jack.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that the homeless man was a werewolf and the kids were picking on him, and he turned out to be the werewolf cutting shit's heads off. Okay.
No.
I'll have to re-listen to it.
Nope. They cried wolf, and then the wolf actually showed up. That was
Okay.
the whole thing. Because they were trying to scare the homeless man.
So, like, is it like it's a consensus? Well, like for the most part, Binary Shuffle is like not the. It's not the song you like the least on the album.
No.
But for the rest of us, it's definitely Binary Shuffle, right?
Yeah.
It's the one that I think it doesn't fit.
I don't-
But I
I don't
also
think it-
enjoy Binary Shuffle.
If somebody stumbled across that track as the first track for these guys, it would not do them justice
No.
as far as their skills and everything.
Mhm.
It maybe turn people away if that's the first track they heard.
Yeah.
Kind of felt like a radio hit.
Yeah, kind
Like
of.
something
Kinda.
made to play on the radio.
Yeah.
All right, Captain Buzzkill.
What?
Let's hear that hot take. I want to know this hot take.
You're actually going to be very surprised.
Let me crack a beer for this one.
I wouldn't do that. It's
case I
not
gotta-
that serious.
In case I got to throw it at you, Blake. I'm getting ready.
Hey,
It's not Di Serono. You can't do that.
Okay. Yeah, I already said my favorite and least favorite, right?
Yeah.
Now it's just like my overall feeling.
Your hot take or your overall? Whatever.
When I texted you guys this morning, I said it in a way to hook you in to make you think I hated it
When did you start listening to it?
today.
Slacker.
Of course.
So
Of course.
I went on my bike ride and I threw it on. So I mean, I had to listen to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey man,
Today. We've
I
known
get-
about this for a month.
Hey, it's fresh.
You know, fuck it.
It's fresh, man.
I get shit done. All right. You tell me when it's due. It'll be done.
It'll be done. Don't
2
worry
minutes
about it.
before it's due.
Okay.
He's actually got some good notes too, so I'm
Yeah.
impressed for one day.
I said the intro came. What I was gonna text you guys is the intro. He came out swinging. I was gonna say this might be the top 10 best intros I've ever heard.
The song or just the beginning of
the song?
Yeah.
I was like, when I like, if that's the first song, like that was the first song I ever heard. I was like, oh shit.
yeah.
This is not what I was expecting it to be. I would say like I said, the wordplay was very good. I actually enjoyed the album. I actually texted Cash and I was like, I told him, I was like, I'm upset with you. And he was like, good morning, Blake. Why? And I was like, because I'm listening to this Binary Star album and I've never heard you reference this before. Like, I've never heard you say anything about him. And he is usually hip to shit like that.
Yeah.
And he actually told me, he's like, yeah, they were really like very, very, very underground back then. And it was a lot harder to get to hear underground music back then than it is today.
Yeah.
And he's like, so I've actually never heard him. And I was like,
No shit.
really? I was
Wow.
like, oh, well, if you find time, dude, I highly suggest this album. So with that being said,
They got Blake's word of mouth.
yeah, with this being said,
10 20 years too late.
it's not an album that I'm going to play
Regularly.
but I didn't hate it. I actually enjoyed it. I
Nice.
listened to it. I actually muted Call of Duty today to listen to this. So,
Oh shit.
So
Getting real for Blake.
So things are getting serious.
yeah. So I gave it 3.9 out of 5 supernovas.
Nice.
Ah.
So yeah, I liked it.
3.5 out of 9?
3.9 out of 5.
With your
Okay,
dyslexic
I was
ass.
like, what?
It was very. It gave me like Rakim, KRS-One.
Yeah, it's definitely got an old school vibe to it.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, lots of pianos in it. I liked that. Sometimes it was overused. The first guy's voice. I
One
don't
Below.
know. Is that who that is?
Yeah, I think that's what you said.
Yeah.
One Below starts it off. Yeah.
Yeah, I like his voice.
Check out
It
Sonogram.
just flows. I
He's
don't
got a
know.
really silky voice. Yeah. It's not silky. Silky's not the right word. It's buttery.
Yes.
It's smooth.
Butter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of hip hop heads should listen to that album.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, it's huge in the underground circles.
I like how in one of their intro, the KGB is probably one of my that was my favorite intro on the album.
Put bullet in gun.
I was actually like riding down what's that street, Ohio, when I was listening that came on, and I just kind of chuckled and laughed, and I was like, oh, that was fucking cool. I liked that. I can't really think right now off the top of my head any gripes other than maybe use a different beat selection. But I mean, but again, like it worked with that album, so I get it.
Yeah.
That's about it. I liked it.
Hell yeah.
I was not expecting that. I was expecting like
This
some more
typical stereotypical shit you think I listen to.
Yeah. I
Like
mean-
Aesop Rock and Atmosphere, that kind of shit.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. It was fast rap, but I could hear everything he was saying, and it wasn't
It was really pronounced.
very.
Yeah.
And that helped me with this album a lot. And I think that also the simple beats helped that too. Whereas, you know, the other album was just like, you know,
Yeah.
it was just like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah.
Like, make up your mind.
Marcus's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
If beats could give you epilepsy.
Yeah. So no, yeah, I liked it. Thank you, Jed. It was a good
I'm happy to hear that. Cheers.
it was a good recommendation.
There's a reason I was excited to throw this out. Like, this is the first album that came to mind when I fucking like as soon as I saw it on Spotify, I was like, I gotta recommend this for this thing that we're doing. So Jake,
I hated it.
hated it.
I hated
Move
it.
on.
Somebody had to hate it, right?
Yeah.
No, I liked it. It's it was definitely in my wheelhouse for the most part. You know, like I've said, I love the beats. I love the wordplay for the most part. I love the story songs more,
Yeah.
but I didn't hate the lyricism in the other ones. Honestly, I wouldn't listen to every song on the album, but I'd add a couple to a playlist.
Oh, for sure.
You know, it's just I don't know. I don't like the whole album, but I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I like some songs more. I guess I should say.
Yeah.
So I didn't think of a fancy rating system.
Just do something astrology like, but don't steal mine.
I rate it a Gemini out of a Virgo.
You know, I wasn't gonna say. I was trying to figure out a way to say three.
I did
in
say
binary,
astrology,
but-
not astronomy. Damn it. I fucked that one up. I'm sorry, Jake.
Gotcha.
I set you up for failure.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Blake?
I said I was gonna try to figure out a way to say 3 in binary, but I couldn't.
Trinary.
But I couldn't. So,
Yeah, I
and I don't think you guys would have understood it. So I just kept it with supernovas.
Yeah.
Chris.
Basically said everything I need to say about it.
Oh yeah, I
I'm-
was the last one, wasn't I?
I'm glad it was recommended. I wouldn't have listened to it outside of you telling us to, so that's what's cool about this. I'm glad I did listen to it. I did add a few to a playlist. They're good. One Below, I'm going to listen to Sonogram now.
Yeah. I highly, like I said, since you
never
guys
even-
enjoyed this, I highly recommend Sonogram.
I've never even seen One Below or Cinema Silla's names come up anywhere on
I like how he
YouTube or-
spells his name too.
Yeah.
One Below or
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was
It's clever. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a dope album.
What do you give it?
Probably like a 4.25 out of 5.
I couldn't give it 4 because of the beats.
Yeah. That was the one thing that
more simplistic.
They're too simple.
and they all sounded the same.
I just like how it's like hip hop's core is in this album.
Right.
It's
I-
not some-
yeah,
it's not
that's a
some
perfect
bullshit.
way of saying it. Like I feel like you could play this in the like you could play these beats in a studio, and these dudes just got in the booth
Yep.
and was just rapping, and then they recorded it.
yeah.
You know,
Like
like
it's just like background music they rapped over.
no, but I mean like back in the day, kind of like how they didn't have. I don't know how to explain it.
I will say none of these beats are my favorite beats of all time. Like
No.
they're not even close. They're all very basic, but they work with the tracks.
In almost any of these songs, I just see the guy with the boombox on his shoulder walking down the street listening
Yes,
to this
it's
shit.
very
Yeah.
80s, 90s.
Yep.
Like it fits
And
the aesthetic they're going for.
Right.
And typically, I don't particularly like the late 80s, early 90s G-Funk, like Rakim type flows and rap music, but they did this well, and it's very similar.
Well, it's got that fusion that it was the turn of the century kind of shit too.
Yep.
You know, so it wasn't just that like bare bones basic form of hip hop from back in the day. There was also some. You could tell it was evolving.
Yep.
You know, and so it worked really well.
Hell yeah.
So, what's your star score, Jake? Since you gave us Gemini out of a fucking Aquarius or whatever the hell you
Yeah.
said.
What does that
Well,
even mean?
I think there's
Is that
like
2 out of 5?
I think there's like 10 stars in the Gemini constellation and
He's gonna fucking
12
start
out of the
just
Aquarius.
penning shit
constellation.
in walls and.
5 out of 6.
I would go. I would go.
So what's that? 80%? You liked it?
Yeah, 80%
Okay.
Rotten Tomato score. No, I gave it a 4 out of 5. Like it's not. I'd add it to a playlist. Add some songs to a playlist, but I wouldn't like listen to the whole album multiple times like I have other albums. But it's was definitely worth listening to. If you haven't listened to it before, it's definitely a
This, which most people haven't.
yeah.
You know, when I bring up Binary Star, like you guys are hip hop heads, none of you have heard of them.
No.
You know, but like there are certain circles of hip hop heads that I talk to, and this album is super fucking revered in. You know, and so that was why I wanted to bring it up in this group, is because like, guys, like I know the typical looks I get when I talk about my underground hip hop. Like I know how you guys feel about Aesop Rock, but this is not Aesop Rock, and like I said, I thoroughly love this album. Aesop Rock's is none of his albums are in my top 5. This album's my 3rd favorite album of all time. That shows you how much I love and appreciate this album, and how bummed out I am that they never made another one as a group. Sinem Silla has put out, I think, 2 albums solo. I didn't like either of them.
Is it not a duo plus some on the
Plus
side?
people, yeah.
Kinda.
I think it's just like their kind of local scene, because
Okay.
there's a bunch of tracks that feature guys that I have never
are they
seen
from?
make
New
music
York?
from. Michigan.
Oh, Michigan.
I want to
Yeah,
say
like the Tires.
It sounded like early Eminem to me.
yeah. I don't think they're from Detroit.
But
I'm not
I mean,
100%
it's
sure.
the
It's that same
sound.
area, yeah.
Yes.
And by
Yeah.
the way, Michigan's not in the fucking Midwest.
I
Michigan's
mean,
the Mideast.
it's the Midwest.
It's the big
We're
Ten.
the Midwest.
The North
Yeah.
Mid.
North Mid.
Mid-North.
That's more accurate.
North
That's more accurate, yes.
I just say Big Ten.
Yeah,
Big
Michigan's
Ten country.
the Big Ten. But so is Nebraska. Then that's ugh.
That's because of money.
yeah, dum-dums.
But yeah, so I give this album 5 binary stars out of 5, so that means 10, if you know
Nice.
math. I fucking love this album. I'm glad that all of you enjoyed it. That makes me very, very happy.
Yeah, thanks, Jed, making me feel like a fucking douche.
It's not that. It's just I did not think that this was gonna be in your wheelhouse at all, because this is compared to the stuff that you've shown me. I didn't think this would fit, but at the same time, how shocked are you when I loved Freddie Gibbs, and I still love Freddie Gibbs? So I mean, there are things that I shouldn't have, assumptions that I shouldn't have made, based on your taste in music and what you normally listen to.
I listened to pretty much everything except for like screamo and
See, I listened to
fucking.
that too.
What else didn't I like?
But even see, like you've liked Fall of Troy though, and they're screamo.
But
It works.
it worked
Yeah.
though. But like I don't know, the beat was cool. Like I'm a beat guy. Like if I like the beat and I like the way it was, it works. You
Yeah.
throw in some screams every once in a while. That's cool.
Shit's cool with me. Get your anger out, white boy.
But yeah, I can't do that, and I cannot do fucking like Johnny Cash type shit.
I can't do country at all.
I can do country.
I can't do country at all.
with country.
Like Johnny
That's the
Cash,
one
like
shit I
that's
can't
not
do.
music to me.
See, I like if I was gonna listen to country, it'd be Johnny Cash. I can't stand any other kind of country.
Yo,
But
Billy
even
Ray
Johnny
had some
Cash.
slappers.
Fuck.
Don't break
burn,
my heart.
burn, ring
I
of
can break your
fire.
heart.
That shit ain't fucking music.
Yo, it
That's some
slapped back then,
fucking
dude.
racist ass motherfucker. I don't even know if
It was
he was
music when they
racist.
stole it from black people.
I just hate the I got a boat and we're drinking beer at the lake music.
Yeah.
That kind
I
of
got a truck.
I got a flat tire
Country,
on my
all
truck.
And
country
it's
is
just the whole music video is them playing a fucking acoustic guitar in front of a giant American flag.
all country is depressed rock. So
sitting on a Coleman
But it's
cooler.
not fun depressed rock. Yeah.
hey man, the country scene got bad bitches though.
Drinking a Paps.
True.
Truth.
No, I'm sorry. Natty Light.
Yeah, they don't
Drinking
drink
a-
No,
Pabst.
they drink
Pabst
Busch.
is punk. Pabst is punk.
Nah.
Yeah, so
Country people drink Bush.
yeah, or Budweiser.
Yeah.
Yeah, you drink Budweiser.
I used to.
Whose album is next? Jake's?
Me, yeah.
Jake's.
What you got?
I don't know.
You still
Honestly,
haven't
I've gone back and forth between like 3 people. It's it's tough for me right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be either a Joyner album, a Big Sean album, or a oh fuck, I lost the other one.
Or another album.
I
Yeah.
dig it so far.
Yeah, it's
I don't.
it keeps bouncing between those 3 people. But like,
Tired of conscious rappers. I just want some fucking
You wanna listen
ratchetness.
Let's listen to some Maxo Cream
yo,
then.
2 Chainz, okay,
Dude.
it's a vibe.
Maxo Cream
It's a
popped up
vibe.
on my daily playlist yesterday, and I was fucking bumping the shit out of it at work. And that is some definition of hood rat rap, dude. It is so. I love Maxo Cream. I love it, dude. But yeah.
Well, that
so
was weird.
next time we go to, next time we do an album review, it's Jake's turn, and he'll have a decision hopefully by then.
Yeah, I should.
So, yeah, that's it. Episode 158 is in the books, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed it. Our shit talking of fascism and a good, solid album review for Jed.
Chris.
Jake.
Blake.
We are Broke Dude Podcast, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.